God may use you to deliver the very ones who hated you. Joseph's brothers were jealous of him because Joseph was his father Jacob's favorite and had dreams of his brothers bowing down to him, so that they wanted to kill him. But instead, they decided to sell him into slavery to the Egyptians. Joseph was just 17 years old and had to forgive his brothers in his heart. And then he worked diligently for his Egyptian master Potiphar. Potiphar's wife eventually wanted sex with Joseph, but he ran from her, did the right thing. She lied, falsely accused him of trying to rape her, and he was locked up in jail for over 3 years. Some say 10 or 12 years. Then he interpreted Pharaoh's dream. Suddenly, he was promoted to number 2 in command over all of Egypt. Then ultimately, when Joseph was about 39 years old, he helped deliver his brothers and father Jacob from the famine when they traveled to Egypt to come get food. So Joseph had to walk in forgiveness for 22 years before his brothers finally changed their hatred for him to love. Genesis chapter 50, verses 18 through 21 says, "Then his brothers also went and fell down before his face, and they said, 'Behold, we are your servants.' Joseph said to them, 'Do not be afraid, for am I in the place of God? But as for you, you meant evil against me, but God meant it for good, in order to bring it about to this day, to save many people alive. Now therefore, do not be afraid. I will provide for you and your little ones.' And he comforted them and spoke kindly to them." God will often have you endure strong persecution by having you deal with demonic people who hurt you in your life. What is amazing is that some of those who hated you will ultimately get delivered due to your love and your forgiveness to them. At first, Moses was not received by many of the Hebrew people, and many did not trust him and were jealous of him, hated him. Then after he delivered them from the Egyptians after 400 years of enslavement, they still complained about him. But their children were allowed to enter the promised land and freedom, and they were grateful to Moses. Paul hated Stephen and Peter, wanted them dead. But then when he was delivered and changed, he loved them and ended up writing a third of the New Testament. Jesus had many haters, but some of the Pharisees who hated him listened to him and later got delivered and loved him and became a Christian. The disciples got many delivered from demons who hated them, and then they became Christians and helped others believe. I've had many who initially hated my message and me, and they didn't even know me. They watched my teachings and their demons in them hated me. But when they continued to listen, over time, they could not deny that what I was preaching was actually to help them. They had anger and bitterness for those who hurt them growing up, and they had demons. And then, when they forgave all those in their past, got delivered, they loved me and supported our ministry. I know many who got healed and delivered, and then got their own abusive parents healed and delivered. So God will sometimes cause your haters to have to even come back to you and apologize in order to get delivered. Matthew chapter 5, verses 43 through 48 says, "You have heard that it was said, 'You shall love your neighbor and hate your enemy.' But I say to you, love your enemies, bless those who curse you, do good to those who hate you, and pray for those who spitefully use you and persecute you, that you may be sons of your Father in heaven. For he makes his sun rise on the evil and on the good, and sends rain on the just and on the unjust. For if you love those who love you, what reward have you? Do not even the tax collectors do the same? And if you greet your brethren only, what do you do more than others? Do not even the tax collectors do so? Therefore, you shall be perfect just as your Father in heaven is perfect." All right, so I have a book called Freedom from Soul Wounds and Demons. It's a current bestseller on Amazon. It has been for about a year now. And you can go through that book, and it will take you through forgiveness, true forgiveness, forgiving all those who hurt you and wounded you, and get you delivered so that you can walk in the fruit of the Spirit. Again, it's called Freedom from Soul Wounds and Demons. It's available on Amazon in paperback, Kindle, and Audible. Also available in Spanish. All right, thanks. Bye.